Hello, everyone, and welcome to our expert panel discussion on current trends and family engagement in early childhood education. We kindly request your attention for a brief moment in the spirit of transparency and utmost respect for our community. We have some information we'd like you to read on this disclaimer screen. By taking a few moments to read through this disclaimer, you empower yourself with important information regarding the boundaries of our knowledge sharing environment. Please take just a moment to also read through this disclaimer screen. Then together we'll embark upon some exciting topics in ECE. So this panel of experts was created to provide real-world examples of two very important topics in early childhood education. The first topic will cover current trends in early childhood, and the second topic is about family engagement. So before we get started, we would like for you to introduce yourself, tell us how long you've been in education, and how long you've been at UAGC. And Carmen, would you like to go first?
Yes, thank you. My name is Carmen Harris, and I have been in this field for 27 years, and I've been with UAGC for almost a year in July.
Okay, Rex.
Thank you. My name is Rex Kruder. I'm a retired teacher, school administrator, early childhood director, and superintendent. Currently retired from that position, and I've been with Ashford/UAGC since 2008, and I look forward to this program today. Thank you.
Awesome. And thank you both so much for being here. So let's get right on to our first question. Our first question is, what is one current issue or trend that you're seeing in ECE right now? Carmen, we'll start with you.
Well, currently we are seeing an uprise in our programs of challenging behaviors from children, and it could be anything from developmental delays, social emotional development. We're finding that a lot of children are kind of having some issues with managing their emotions. So we're doing a lot of focus on social emotional development, helping children learn how to manage emotions, teach them their emotions, because every child doesn't know what happy, sad, angry, frustrated. So if they learn what those emotions are and they're taught how to properly express them, then perhaps they won't have as many challenges when it comes to socialization in the classrooms. So that is definitely a hot topic. Our teachers in the field work very hard, and sometimes when those challenging behaviors are happening in the room, they feel like it takes them from that teaching environment that they're supposed to be doing. So we just have to work hard to give the children the skills that they need to be successful in the classroom.
Thank you. Rex?
Topic that I have is retention of early childhood teachers and staff. Three areas that I'd like to cover briefly is inadequate funding / low wages for early childhood staff. I think we all understand that they're underpaid and have a lot of responsibilities. Teacher shortages, which kind of connects with that, but with the low wages come a need for more and more teachers. And I do see some states are starting to work on preschool for all and are trying to raise some of the wages, thank gosh. Also, training limitations. There's a lot of trainings out there that these teachers and staff are unable to attend. So, I mean, I think we all know NAEYC, but there are other trainings available, and we just need to make them more available to our staffs today. And again, all of that goes with retention of staff. but kudos to everyone who's chosen education as their field. And you might not be overly paid, but there are so many other benefits of being an educator.
And it's kind of, your answers play together, because if you're in the classroom and you have these challenging behaviors and children that struggle with social emotional regulation, you might not want to be in the classroom, you know, and that could be a reason as well for low retention numbers, especially if you're not being paid the wage, you know, to deal with it. Yeah.
Correct.
So it's a shift in topic, but it's how do you foster trust and engagement with families? Because if you get the families on board, you can start brainstorming ideas to help the children. So what is one way that you get that trust and engagement from families, Carmen?
So I am a trainer and curriculum specialist in a pre-K program for the Army, and we have a lot of parent events. We kind of emerge them into our curriculum. So when we are doing the close study, we have a fashion show and invite the parents. Like every study, we try to involve the parents in everything. That could be them coming in to do a food project. It could be taking home and building something with their children. So all throughout the year, we're offering these opportunities for the parents to be involved in the curriculum in any way that they can. And we found that we are very successful with that. The parents, they love it, because what happens is when they get home, they don't have as much time to engage with their children as they would like. So it's get home, bath, bed, book, all of those things. But having those opportunities while the children are at school gets them engaged. It gets that one-on-one participation that they may not get when the children go home. So those activities that we have are very important.
I love the fashion show idea.
Oh yes, some great pictures from that.
How about you, Rex?
Well, in my experience with early childhood and primary students, getting the parents involved is a priority for all of us. And we did a number of things, but we also reached out to I'll say the greater community in regards to parents sometimes, not sometimes, but many times have some unique professions that they could come in and talk about. One thing we did as far as community-based was for all grade levels, but we had a stargazing evening where we brought into our gymnasium a balloon type, like a balloon, and then the students' parents could go inside, and depending on the grade level, they had different studies for each one, even as far as down as early childhood. And we always included the parents in with that as well. And we had, of course, teachers and staff there to help while the parents were in watching some, which helped them. The community, if you look around each of our communities, we have a lot of resources that we might not think about. We think about public libraries, but yet not a lot of students are familiar with the public library. So that's a good field trip. Our school, luckily, was right next door to the public library, so we took advantage of that as much as we possibly could. Had the children's librarian come over and give programs, as well as take students over there. But each of our communities do indeed have resources, if you reach out to them, to help engage students as well as their parents. And once we can get the families involved, it's a win-win situation for all concerned.
And I just kind of wanted to jump in, Dr. Johnson, and say, I never got to the end of a year and thought, I wish I didn't get to know that parent so well or that family so well. I always thought, I wish I would have even got to know them better. And I started from day one because building that relationship with families is truly the cornerstone of our entire year, right? And our entire program. So it's so important that you build those relationships from day one.
Carmen,
And
what's
the
you
one word that I would say, communication. You touched on it, Dr. Shipley, but communication is our greatest asset as educators, and we need to realize that. But again, reaching out to students, colleagues as well, parents, and the greater community.
Carmen, Rex talked about community resources. What does that look like in like a military setting?
You know what? The military is really good about providing resources for the families because they realize that parents are so busy and their lives can be kind of chaotic. Like 1 minute they're here, and the next minute they get a message to say they have to go overseas or something. So it's kind of like they have all of these one-stop shops for parents. Our Army Community Services, they have parenting classes and all sorts of things to help parents along the way. Of course, like he mentioned, you know, there's the local libraries and things like that, but the Army really does a good job of having these resources that parents can reach out right there. Even like if their child is exhibiting challenging behavior, there's classes that can help with that. They get referrals to professionals who can help with that. So a lot of resources for our military families, because the goal is if they can focus on mission, then life is good. If we can make things easier for them to focus on their mission of serving our country, then it makes it easier for everybody.
And I think the mission of the teacher too is to get out to meet your community.
Yeah.
Who's in your community? Who can help you? What can they do? How can you partner with them? So that is a big responsibility of the teacher. It's not just inside the school, it's outside in your community also.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here. This was a great panel. Thank you for sharing your information.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for inviting me.